Hello Internet and welcome to Know Your Combo series. The premise here is simple. I'll try to explain some of the more common commander combos and show you how and when to interact with them. This episode will cover Necrotic Ooze, a literal combo in a can that you can customize quite well for many different deck types. And I'll try to be a more professional YouTuber this time and tell you to like, share, subscribe and ring the bell even before the intro break. With the engagement bait out of the way, we can now focus on the actual topic of the video, Necrotic Ooze. It's a very clean design, with a lot of potential for abuse of many different mechanics in the game, so of course I had to cover it at some point. For 2 generic and 2 black mana we get a 4/3 creature with the Ooze subtype, that has only one very clear ability. As long as it's on the battlefield, it has activated abilities of creatures in all graveyards. Yeah, what could go wrong with that, right? In the normal case of Combo Showcase, this would be the part of the video where I go over all the elements involved in the process, and then show you an animated example. This one needs a different approach. Necrotic Ooze has limitless potential, and a great enabler in the form of Buried Alive. For 2 generic and 1 black mana, we can put up to 3 creatures from our library straight into our graveyard. This can assemble an ungodly amount of creature-based combos with minimal setup. So this time I just go over some of the cleanest examples. Let's start with something mono-black. Asmodeus, the Archfiend and Skirge Familliar. With those 2 in our graveyard we can use 3 black mana to draw 7 cards, and then discard the card to get a black mana. This has very intensive mana requirements to start, but allows us to draw most of our deck and gain around 50 to 60 mana, which makes this an ideal setup for big Exsanguinate or Torment of Hellfire. If our Necrotic Ooze has an ability to tap itself to use its ability, our option skyrockets. So having a 1000-year elixir in the deck may not be a bad idea. With that in mind, let's take a look at another mono-black example. Fain the Broker and Cinderhaze Wretch. Here we use Wretch's ability to put a -1/-1 counter and untap our Ooze. And then we use Fain's ability to remove that counter and create a treasure token. We repeat this process until we put any dragon to shame with our treasure hoard. And from here we can just use our favorite finisher to win the game via unlimited mana. If we want to be efficient, we can just add a Walking Ballista to our Buried Alive targets, and have the Ooze be the finisher itself. Just dump the mana from treasures into the first Ballista ability, and then use the second one to deal with the opponents. Of course, we can use more efficient creatures if we add more colors, or just use broken artifact creatures. Pili-Pala and Palladium Myr can get us any amount of colored mana directly. So does the combination of Channeler, Initiate and Devoted Druid. With enough colors in our deck we can even achieve this in a version that does not require tapping Necrotic Ooze, using Morsel Hoarder and Devoted Druid for example. If arbitrary large amount of mana is not your thing, we have even some alternatives. Mixing Cinderhaze Wretch or Devoted Druid with Soul Diviner enables you to clearly draw your whole deck. And for the Aristocrats player, I could recommend the Endling lines. For 1 black mana we can give our Ooze the Undying ability, then sacrifice it to our chosen sack outlet and have it return to the battlefield. From here we need a way of converting a +1/+1 counter into mana, using Crystaline Crawler for example. Or you can just throw Kiki-Jiki into the graveyard and have the Ooze Flute on the board until end of turn. This allows us limitless triggers for creature dying and entering the battlefield. I'm sure you can figure out some kind of win from here in this archetype. If that wasn't enough, we even have something for landfall enthusiasts. Using the abilities of Trench, Behemoth and Walking Atlas, you can just play any combination of your lands as many times as you want. This can net you unlimited mana along the way, or just win the game if you use any of the damaging desert cards. Okay, at this point I think it's quite clear that this card is a nightmare to showcase. It's a build-your-own combo enabler that uses not only your own graveyard but also those of your opponents, which means it sometimes can go infinite in some way by sheer accident. However, the funniest thing, at least for me, is the fact that this one is just a very good card to have in your deck with activated abilities on creatures. It's a second copy of Bloomtender, or Magus of the Candelabra, or even Emil the Blessed. Possibilities are endless, and so is the value. As far as stopping the Necrotic Ooze bullshit goes, it's quite easy. This is a very linear combo that has two very specific weak points: Necrotic Ooze itself and graveyards. Being a creature without innate protection, Ooze is a removal magnet. It having a toughness of 3 is probably a design decision for balance. Both Lightning Bolt and Abrade can deal with it easily. But for comedic value, Ooze does not die to Doomblade. Other than that, all of the Ooze lines requires activated abilities that are staple to a single creature. So alongside Curse Totem, all Revoker-like effects work wonders, since they can shut off more than one part of a combo line. If you want to add insult to injury, Drana and Linvala are perfect duo for you. Not only do you shut down the Ooze lines of your opponents, but you also get access to them for yourself. Another attack avenue against those combo lines is targeting the graveyards. Rest in Peace clears everything, and also prevents sudden graveyard BS in the future. Tormod Script or Soul Guide Lanterns are more targeted, but can also work. For tactical precision we have Cling to Dust, or Memory's Journey if you don't have access to black mana. Window for interaction against many Necrotic Ooze lines can be a little bit tricky. The best ones can be executed at instant speed, and a responsible player will wait for the moment when he can activate the first step of the combo more times than once. You can try to counter that using cards with split second, like Sudden Death or Wipe Away. Sudden Spoiling and Strikebind can also solve this temporarily. Okay, I think anything else would be redundant at this point. At the core, Necrotic Ooze lines are quite simple to stop. You just need to have proper tools inside your deck. This would be the place where I usually do the YouTube stuff with liking, subscribing and so on. But I remembered to do that earlier in the video, so let's see if this changes anything in the analytics. And if you have a specific combo that would like to have showcase in this format, get to the comment section and try to sell it to me somehow. See ya in the next one.